The diner bell chimed softly, but the tension inside snapped like glass. Everyone froze. 3 loud, swaggering young men had just shoved their way through the front door of Maple Root Diner, a quiet roadside place where stories tended to stay inside people's hearts rather than slip out into the air. But today, things would go differently. Behind the counter stood 2 identical waitresses, quiet, gentle, almost invisible to most customers. Twins. Same brown hair neatly tied back. Same soft, observant eyes. Same silence that made them seem fragile. But what no one knew, not even the owner, was that beneath their peaceful smiles lived storms they had trained their entire lives to control. Their names were Lena and Lila Carter, both retired Navy SEALs, both decorated, both trying to start fresh after surviving the kind of darkness people only read about. The bullies, of course, didn't know that. They didn't know anything at all. The hook begins. "Hey sweetheart," one of the bullies called out, slamming his boots onto a chair. "Why don't you bring us 3 coffees, and make it quick? We're in a good mood today." Lena simply nodded, offering a soft smile as she scribbled on her pad. But his friend leaned over the table and added, "And maybe bring us a smile too, huh? Something real. Not that fake waitress crap." The diner shifted into a quiet discomfort. A father with 2 small kids quickly pulled them close. An elderly couple exchanged worried glances. The owner, Earl, wiped his hands on his apron but didn't step in. He was afraid. Everyone knew those 3 boys were trouble around town. But the twins never flinched. Lila placed a glass of water gently on their table. "You should hydrate," she said softly. "You look warm." The bullies laughed. "Oh, she talks," another one taunted. "What else can you do, sweetheart?" Lila only smiled politely and walked away. The quiet life they tried to build. For months the twins had worked there. Quiet, kind, always avoiding conflict, even though their bodies had been shaped for it. After leaving the military, they wanted simplicity. To blend in, to find peace. But peace never came easy. Both carried nightmares from missions gone wrong, teammates lost, and nights spent listening to their own heartbeats in the dark. The diner was supposed to be a new beginning, a place where no one asked questions and no one got hurt. But today, someone was looking for trouble, and they were pushing too far. The bullies escalate. Halfway through their meal, the leader of the trio stood up, towering over Lena at the counter. "Listen," he said, tapping her order pad with a finger. "I've been real patient, but you and your sister need to loosen up. Maybe smile, maybe sit with us, maybe." Lena's eyes remained calm, but a storm flickered behind them. "I'm working," she answered softly. The bully stepped closer. "Well then maybe you can work right here with me," he said, invading her space. A pin could have dropped. That's how silent the diner became. Suddenly, a hand gripped the man's wrist. Not Lena's. Lila had crossed the floor so fast no one saw her move. Her fingers locked around his wrist with controlled precision, not too hard, not too soft. Just enough to make a point. "You should sit down," she said gently. The bully yanked his hand back, wincing. "You crazy or something?" he barked. "A little," Lila admitted, "but trained." The bullies laughed again, assuming she meant yoga or martial arts. They were wrong. They were about to learn. The final straw. The leader grabbed a ketchup bottle and squeezed it deliberately onto the counter near Lena's hand, letting it drip down the edge like blood. "Oops," he said mockingly. "Guess you'll have to clean that up." This time Lena didn't even blink. She took a cloth, wiped the mess, and softly said, "You should really stop." "Or what?" he challenged. Lena turned slowly, looking him in the eyes, calm, collected, unshaken. "Or you'll get hurt." They burst out laughing. "You," one of them wheezed, "you can't even raise your voice." Lila stepped beside her twin. "We don't raise our voices," she said. "We raise our standards." And that did it. One bully shoved a chair out of the way and lunged forward. "Bad choice." The truth revealed. Before anyone could blink, Lena stepped aside, grabbed his arm, twisted it gently but decisively, and guided him straight to the floor. Not a punch, not a kick, just controlled, effortless takedown. The diner gasped. The second bully charged. Lila intercepted him, a swift sweep of her leg, a controlled grip to the shoulder. He hit the ground with a thud, unharmed, but completely immobilized. The leader backed up. What are you?" he stammered. Lena exhaled, calm as ever. "We're Navy SEALs," she said quietly. And we asked nicely. The diner burst into whispers. Earl, the owner, nearly fainted. The heart of the story, emotional depth. The leader, trembling, whispered. We didn't know. Lila nodded. Most people don't. They released the two-pin bullies, stepping back with discipline that came from years of training, loyalty, and loss. We didn't want trouble, Lena continued softly. We just wanted peace. Something gentle. Something quiet. The leader swallowed hard. Why? Why work here? Lena glanced around the diner. The families, the older couple, the warm wooden booths. Because this place is safe, she said. Or at least it was supposed to be. The bullies looked around at the people watching, people they had scared, disrespected, intimidated. Shame replaced arrogance. We're sorry, the leader whispered. Lila nodded. Good. Then let this be your lesson. She stepped closer, her voice almost a whisper. Strength isn't about hurting people. It's about protecting them. The boys nodded, humbled. They left without another word. Aftermath. The diner's reaction. After the door closed behind them, the diner erupted. Applause. Cheers. Gratitude. Earl stammered. Why didn't you tell me? You too, my goodness, you saved this place. Lena smiled shyly. We didn't want to be anyone special. Just part of the community. You already are, said the elderly woman from booth 3. A father stood up and said, thank you. You protected my kids today. The twins exchanged a soft, overwhelmed glance. For once, their quiet wasn't a shield. It was respect. The inspiring ending, strong message. That day, news spread throughout the town, not about violence, but about two gentle women who carried the strength of warriors in the hearts of guardians. The bullies never returned. Instead, they turned up weeks later helping Earl repaint the diner's fence, quiet, respectful, changed. And Lena and Lila, they kept serving coffee with soft smiles, blending into the quiet life they wanted, but now with a community that understood them, appreciated them, and stood beside them. Because real strength isn't loud. Real strength is quiet, disciplined, and kind. Just like the twins.